Hey, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Matt, and behind me is a 370Z that I bought crashed at auction, and we've been slowly rebuilding on the channel.
I bought a wrecked 2012 Nissan 370Z that was completely written off. Most people would have walked away, but not me. We're about to give this thing a whole new life, rebuilding it, modding it, and taking it way beyond stock. Hit subscribe and follow the Z rebuild. This thing is going to be wild.
So if you saw in the last assembly video, we were able to get a lot of the front end put together, including the radiator support, bash bar, a lot of those things that had gotten broken in the accident. However, we still had damaged body parts, missing a bumper completely, and finally those things have finally come in. A lot of the original parts were destroyed in the accident, but as you can see, we've made a lot of progress getting the radiator support, washer fluid reservoir, bash bar, a lot of those pieces replaced. Unfortunately, a lot of damage still remains with the passenger side fender, not to mention the lack of a front bumper. So let's go ahead and jump into it and start getting this passenger side fender replaced. Then we can get the headlights in and get the front bumper on. Let's get into it.
We are going to first start by removing the top bolts from the fender, along with there by the headlight bucket, then moving on to the fender liner, and as you can see here, we are now undoing the bolts that are in the door jamb. This bottom bolt is a bit tricky. If you have a ratcheting wrench, this would be significantly easier. We then remove the bottom bolts after pulling back the side skirt, removing the side marker, and then the fender is able to come off. So the fender is officially off, but one thing to note whenever you're doing this, with the side marker, there is going to be a plug here. So just make sure that either you take the light out, unplug it before you take the fender off, or in our case, I pulled the fender back, disconnected it, and then just took the light and the fender off as one. So here we are officially with the fender off. Like I said, the side marker is still in it. We will be transferring that over to the new fender, but it's so nice to have this gone. As you can see, it's pretty damaged. I bent a lot of this stuff back simply to try to get some of the front end stuff lined up. But now we're going to get the new fender put on. And here we are with the new fender. So this fender actually comes from partify.com. I actually purchased the fender and the bumper through them. I purchased other parts through them in the past, and honestly, it always turns out with great quality. It's kind of nice. You can choose anywhere from aftermarket options to OEM options, and the paint code and the paint color ends up being spot on, unless you have natural things like if your car sat out in the sun and the paint has faded or aged. But other than that, in my experience, the paint has been very spot on. But let's go ahead and get this on the car and go from there. And also, for those of you who are wondering, this baby powder, that is part of the shipping process. That is one thing they do to help ensure that your part doesn't come all scratched up, and that the packing material that the part is in is actually going to separate nice and cleanly and won't leave any residue or anything like that on your painted part. And for those who may be wondering, am I sponsored by Partify? I am not. I have no affiliation with them. It's a company that I've used because I do not have the means to paint my parts. So if I'm going to have to order parts and I'm going to need parts painted, I might as well use them. That just makes most sense to me, since I can get the part shipped to my house and it's in really good quality and get it on the car right away. So let's go ahead and get that new fender on the car. The installation process for the fender is the exact same as the removal process. As you can see here, I only inserted a few bolts, and this is just to get the fender into position to see how everything lines up. So now we have the fender on the car and the headlight. I still have the side skirt pulled away just in case I need to adjust it all. Trying to get all the gaps as nicely as I can. Next, we're going to go ahead and throw in the bumper and start seeing what our gaps look like. And honestly, it'll be my first time seeing the car with a bumper. And same as the fender, this bumper actually comes from Partify. Had it painted with them, and again, the white coating is for shipping to help it from sticking to the shipping material and getting that residue on the paint. But this is the original bumper that came on the car, not an Ismo, nothing crazy. The goal here is to get the car back to a factory standard with some tasteful upgrades along the way. But part of that is let's getting back to the original bumper. So let's go ahead and dress it up, get a couple of the things on it, and then we'll get it mounted to the car. After a quick rinse, it is looking incredible. So this car is really starting to come together from the day that we got it and it had been wrecked. So one of the things we are still waiting on is the hood, along with the new windshield. So hopefully we can get that stuff taken care of soon. Get a lot of little odds and ends, our tow hook cover, emblem, those little things taken care of, and she'll be on the road soon.
But if you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like down below, comment, and we'll see you later, guys. Peace.